As the name suggests, the research assignment requires you to conduct some good research to find reliable sources that you can use in addition to our textbook. Because I want you to do some real research and not just use Google to read a Wikipedia article, I'm requiring you to watch two videos that you'll find in our class on the Start Here page: Researching Behavioral Science Topics and Google Advanced Google Scholar Tutorial. These videos walk you through how to use library databases in your research and also a better way of searching Google to find trustworthy sources. For example, you'll learn how to use Google Advanced to search a specific, reliable website. In psychology, the American Psychological Association is a great resource. Depending on the topic you choose, you might find good information on an association's website, like the Alzheimer's Association. The National Institute of Mental Health has a web page providing information on suicide. And the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has a lot of good information on a variety of topics. You will not receive points if you use sources that aren't credible, so these videos will help you, not only with this assignment, but also for your other research in school and maybe even your career. After you watch each of these two required videos, by the deadline indicated in our course calendar, you'll need to send me an email, or you could use the Remind app instead, to tell me something that you found interesting in the video or a technique that you plan to use for this assignment. Mention something like that for each video. That email message to me is the first thing that's due for this assignment. It's part 1. After that, start your research and find 3 to 5 reliable sources. One source can be our textbook. Your sources will need to be providing information about a topic that you choose. This topic should be mentioned in our textbook, and it needs to be something regarded as a social problem. Things like poverty, high suicide rates, mental illness, food insecurity, all affect our society in numerous ways. There are lots of other social problems you could choose to address. Just make sure that it's covered somewhere in our book. After you choose a problem to research, find information that describes the problem. What is it? How prevalent is it? Who does it impact the most, as in the elderly, infants, men, single mothers, or Native Americans? You'll need to find out why this social problem matters to our society. What impact does it have on individuals and on larger communities? Finally, I want you to think about how we could potentially solve this problem, or at least minimize the negative impact it has to people. How can people help? How can institutions help? Be specific in your proposed solution. If you talk about increased funding, where will this money come from? How will money be distributed to those in need? Will there be an application process? Will it require recipients to provide bank account information? I mentioned increasing funding, but that's just an example. You may come up with some other way to solve your social problem, but I want you to really think about how this social problem could be eased and provide sufficient detail that your plan could actually be implemented somewhere. You can see the rubric for this assignment in our class on the research assignment page, and what you propose as a solution will be worth more points than anything else. I don't want you to write a book report. I want you to actually apply the knowledge that you learn through your research. When you find all of your sources, the second due date for this assignment requires you to upload through Blackboard your Works Cited page following MLA citation style. You'll find the due date for that Works Cited page on our course calendar. This Works Cited page must be a Word document. If you use Google Docs rather than Word, in order to submit it through Blackboard, you'll first need to download it as a Word document, click on Save, and then your file will be in the location you usually save things. I have mine set to save things to my desktop, but your file might be in Documents or Downloads. Select that Word version when you're submitting it in Blackboard. If you're shaky on what I just went over, the Google Programs video on the Start Here page of our course will help. After you've found your sources and submitted your Works Cited page, the final step is to prepare your presentation. You have two choices. You can either write a 5-page paper, or you can use VidGrid to record yourself giving a 5 to 8 minute presentation, as if this is a speech class. Notice that I didn't say you'll actually be giving a presentation in class. You won't be. You'll be filming yourself giving a presentation, and you'll submit a video to me. Right now, as I'm making this video, we're in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, and in-person classes have been suspended. Of course, you might be taking this class as an online-only class anyway. Even when I assign this again in the future, the in-person hybrid classes I teach are always short on time, so we will not be scheduling speeches in person for all students. Did you also notice that I said you'll be using something called VidGrid? That's the only tool you can use for this assignment, and it's pretty easy to use. I'm requiring you to use VidGrid because video file sizes are too large to send through email or to upload to Blackboard, so this is the only way this video option will work. I've placed the link you'll need to access this tool directly in our course on the research assignment page. There's also this video tutorial that walks you through how to use VidGrid. You do not have to have a webcam or a special microphone headset. You could use your smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop. Most devices like these have built-in webcams and microphones. Use what's available. Chances are that if you don't have something, it'll be the webcam. Not everybody has one. Don't worry about that. Just record your voice explaining your presentation slides. When you turn this in, I'll see on my screen the slides that you created as you page through them, and I'll hear you explaining them. So create a PowerPoint presentation, or if you'd prefer, use Google Slides or Prezi, whatever works for you. Show those slides on the screen while using VidGrid and recording your voice. Of course, if you have a webcam, you can just show yourself on the screen. That's your choice and based on what hardware you have available. Remember that this instruction video is here in our class on the research assignment page, and it will walk you through how to use this VidGrid program. Once you've gotten everything done in VidGrid, you're done. That's all you need to do. Since you used the link I provided to you, your video was automatically placed in a folder for me to grade. I even get an email notifying me that someone has finished a video in VidGrid, and then I can go watch it. I don't have a ton to say about the option of writing a paper. I figure you've done these before. Follow MLA style and write a good 5 pages. That's 5 pages of writing. The 6th page is your works cited page. If you're not very familiar with MLA, you could watch the video in our class about that style. It's on the Start Here page. Just know that this video was originally created for the social responsibility assignment, which is not the one you're doing for this class. Ignore everything specific to that assignment and use everything else about MLA. You won't be inserting answers into a template, but just creating a new Word document and writing your paper. Just like with the Works Cited page, be sure to upload to Blackboard a Word document. So to summarize this, the research assignment has 3 parts with 3 different due dates, which you'll find in our course calendar. The first part requires you to watch my 2 videos and then message me about what you learned from each and what you plan to use from each. Second, submit your Works Cited page through Blackboard as a Word document. Whatever program you use on your device, just make sure to save it in a Word version and upload that version. Lastly, you'll either write a 5-page MLA style paper or you'll use VidGrid to create a presentation that's 5 to 8 minutes long. I think that's it, but please ask me if you have questions.